Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. This is the Global Scholar YouTube channel and my name is George Wilkinson. If you're new to this channel, I share useful information for anyone planning to study abroad. And so if you love stuff like this, please subscribe and let's keep growing this community together. Today, let's talk about the graduate visa or the post-study graduate visa. I'm sure by now you probably know all about the post-study graduate visa in the UK or the UK's graduate visa route already. If you don't know, it is a visa that allows you to live and work in the UK for a minimum of 2 years and for a maximum of 3 years right after your studies. The graduate visa is sort of a sweet sour topic whenever it is brought up. There are varying opinions about it, counter arguments about it, whether it's good, whether it's bad, and so on and so forth. Let's delve right into it. Let's talk about it. To begin with, a lot of people reach out to me on my platform on YouTube and send me emails that what are the opportunities out there after studies in terms of work, what should they do, they don't know what to do, they don't know if the course that they are studying will afford them a job or get them into a job right after studies. And a lot of the time, this leaves them undecided. But I'll say to you, just like I say to every one of these individuals that I respond to, once you finish your studies, once you finish your master's degree, your bachelor's degree, you are eligible to apply for this post-study work visa or the graduate work visa. And so that option exists. There is the tier 2 visa, which I will talk about also in this video, but the very straightforward path that is right in front of graduates, international students, when you come to the UK, right after studying in the UK, doing your master's, doing your bachelor's or doing your PhD, is to apply for the post-study work visa. That is, if you really want to stay in the UK and live here and work. Personally, I think that should be your plan. You should look at that first, and that will afford you time to look at other visa routes that you can later on migrate to. But right now, let's delve into how you can apply for this post-study work visa. I think that the first requirement that you need to meet is that you must have completed a course that is eligible under the postgraduate study work visa route. That is a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, or a PhD. And the university that you study that should be a licensed sponsor. Most of the universities in the UK are licensed sponsors anyway, but you should, verify and check that one out. What would you need to apply for this visa? You would need your BRP and your CAS. All right, so a lot of abbreviations there. I'm just pulling your leg. But you would need your biometric resident permit card, the BRP card, which you were given when you came here as a student, when you got here as a student and started your studies. You would need that card. And then you would need your CAS number, which is your confirmation of acceptance of studies number from your university. Once you complete your university studies and you are an international student, you want to apply for the post-study work visa, your university will issue you a new CAS number. So this is absolutely different from the CAS number that you were initially issued or given when you were applying for your visa to come to the UK. Once you graduate or once you are done with your studies, your university will clear you and then they will issue you with a new CAS number that you can use to apply for your post-study work visa. When can I apply? When should I apply? I've seen a lot of questions about when you can apply. And I think that you should do this very strategically. I'll make a case example. But just bear in mind that it takes, on the website, on the UK government website, officially says that it can take up to 8 weeks. But a lot of the applications I know, mine included, came quite quickly. I think I got a response in about a week, less than a week, but officially supposed to take 8 weeks. So you should bear in mind as to what I'm come to propose. So personally, my original student visa, with which I came to the UK with to study, was due to expire in January 2022. However, I finished my course somewhere in September 2021, which meant that I had October, I had November, I had December, and I had up to the end of January to either get on a new visa or go back home. Friends and other international students who finished just around the same time as I did put in their application for the graduate visa once the new CAS numbers was released to them. But this means that your new visa's validity will start exactly on the day that you applied for your new visa. And so if you've graduated in September and then you put in your visa application probably say in October or November, it means that your new graduate visa would commence, or its validity will commence in November that year or in October, depending on when you put in the application. But what I did was that I stalled a bit because my original tier 4 student visa was still valid all the way into January. I didn't rush it. I waited until January to actually put in the application, which meant that when the response came, the validity of my new visa started right from January, which meant that I had enjoyed the last couple of months on my original tier 4 student visa before the new visa arrived. So one would wonder why I waited until January to put in my application, knowing well that January had only 4 weeks. Well, the thing is that once you have put in an application for a new visa before your old visa expires, you can still stay in the UK, even if your new visa hasn't arrived and then your old visa expires. And so in practice, if the waiting period for my new visa had extended all the way into February, I wouldn't be in any sort of trouble, even though my student visa had expired. But the fact that I had applied for a new visa before the old one expired made me safe. Now let's talk about costs. How much does this postgraduate work visa cost? It costs £715 to apply. However, you need to also pay for the health surcharge for each of the year your visa is going to last. And so if your visa is going to last for 2 years, then it means that you have to pay health surcharge for each of these years that you are going to be in the UK. So as at the time of making this video, the health surcharge costs £624 per year, which means that for the 2 years, that's going to be £1,248 plus the application fee of £715. I'll put a total on the screen there somewhere. Now let's talk about applying with family. The caveat to this is that if you want to apply with your family should, or your dependents should have been originally on your tier 4 student visa. This means that when you originally applied for your tier 4 student visa, if you didn't add your dependents to your visa application and you came to the UK and completed your studies without still bringing them on board, then it means that they cannot be part of your application for your new graduate visa. Now let me explain further. There are some people who initially would not have the proof of funds or enough funds to bring over their family at the very initial stages. And so they will apply for themselves to come to school. But if you're looking at bringing your family on board later on in the future, then it means that later on you must be able to put together your resources and be able to apply for them to join you on your tier 4 student visa, so that when your tier 4 student visa expires, they will be eligible to be added to your visa application for your graduate visa. Right, now let's talk about scholarship holders. There are some individuals who come to study with scholarships, government scholarships, church scholarships, Commonwealth scholarships, Chevening scholarships, etc. When you come and study on a scholarship and you want to remain in the UK, you will need clearance from your scholarship provider or your scholarship sponsor before you can apply for the graduate visa. Now you will need a release letter, and this letter must state why staying in the UK is going to benefit you and that they don't have any issue with you staying and applying for this visa. On the topic of scholarships, if you ever apply to come to the UK on a Chevening scholarship, unfortunately you will not be eligible to apply for the graduate visa because Chevening scholarship holders aren't eligible to stay in the UK right after their studies. They're supposed to go back home and, go and make an impact. Now, what can you do with your post-study work visa or your graduate visa? You can stay in the UK, you can look for work, you can even start a business. Essentially, you have the right to remain in the UK and take up any work until your visa expires. Now, a little word of caution, if you ever apply for the post-study work visa or the graduate visa, do not leave the UK until your new biometric resident permit arrives. Now let me explain why. If you ever leave the UK after your studies, waiting for your post-study work visa or not having applied for the post-study work visa, even if your tier 4 student visa is valid or your permit is still valid, it will be very difficult for you to be allowed back into the United Kingdom once you leave. The reason is because any entry officer can question your motives or your reason for wanting to enter back into the country because it is deemed that your studies is completed. Ooh, good visa. Ooh, that's nice. I would like to apply for this visa, but what is the downside to this visa? Are there any downsides to this visa? Well, a couple of things that you should know: that this visa is non-renewable. you cannot renew this visa, you cannot extend this visa. And the second thing is that this visa does not count towards permanent residency. And so if you are looking at accumulating years in order to apply for permanent residency or indefinite leave to remain, this unfortunately does not count towards it. Now the question is that why shouldn't this count towards it, and why isn't it renewable? Well, in my personal opinion, I think that this visa should absolutely count towards PR and should be made renewable. And the reason I say this is because when you come in as an international student, the United Kingdom does give you an opportunity to live in a community, to learn about, the cultures of the United Kingdom, to blend into society here, to even perfect your English language. And on top of it, you learn professional skills, you gain knowledge. It makes you one of the most perfect candidates to live and work extensively in the United Kingdom. I'm very much aware of the Tier 2 or the skilled worker visa, and the fact that you can't transition from a graduate visa to a Tier 2 skilled worker visa. But what if you are not able to achieve that within the next 2 years? As much as this visa is commendable and a great solution for international students after graduation, on the flip side, I also think that it does put a lot of pressure on international students. Now, a couple of weeks back, I shared on my channel about a petition that has been started by an individual. I don't know the individual personally, but this petition has been started to make the postgraduate work visa renewable and to make it count towards permanent residency. I did talk about it, I did review it, and I shared the progress of the campaign and the fact that once you are in the UK, anybody in the UK can append their signatures and sign and do all that. And so in the light of talking about the postgraduate work visa, I am going to bring this campaign up again. I think that it needs 100,000 signatures for it to be debated in Parliament. I think that this should be pushed as much as possible, especially YouTubers or student YouTubers who talk about their life in the UK, and encouraging other students out there to also come to the UK to come and study. I think that we must all put our voices to it and push this as hard as possible and get people in the UK to sign, friends, family, colleagues, anybody that we can think about that live in the UK, to append their signatures so that this can go to Parliament and hopefully reviewed and approved. Again, I'll put a link to this campaign in the description box below. Please check it out. Now, in closing this video, I'll say that if you do happen to apply for this graduate visa, and you should once you come to the UK to study, have a plan. Your plan essentially should be, what are you going to do with these 2 years? And if you have long-term plans of staying in the UK, how you are going to make a switch from the graduate visa to another visa stream once the 2 years are up, or midway, or in between time. In another video, I am going to talk about 4 other visas that you can switch from the graduate visa to. I'm going to be covering that in a separate video, so please do look out for that video. Turn on notifications just so that you will be alerted once I drop that video. If this video brought you value, then smash the like button and let us know in the comment section below if you have any questions or comments. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. We're growing this community. It's getting bigger and better every day. And check out links in the description box to everything that I talked about and any further information that you may need. Until I come your way again with another video, my name is George. Peace. Bye-bye.